Hi, my name is Elisa. My parents have been Georgia's Own members for 25 years, and recently I followed in their footsteps and became a member in 2016. This is my entry for the 2018 Georgia's Own What's Next Scholarship. Ever since I was little, I knew I was supposed to tell stories. When I was in elementary school, I wanted to be a novelist. At my elementary school, we had the opportunity at the end of every year to write what's called a young author book, and most of my classmates chose to write about their favorite memories from that school year. But I always went above and beyond, and I wrote these elaborate short stories that I made everybody I knew read. In middle school, I wanted to create a sitcom and write for TV, and I thought I was going to be this great, big, successful Hollywood TV writer. Then, when I was in 7th grade, I woke up to the news of the Sandy Hook school shooting on December 14th, 2012. While watching the news and reading reports, something within me changed. I found myself mourning for our country and those families, but I also found myself inspired by the courage and the bravery of the people telling the story of what happened and the stories of the victims' lives. From that point on, I knew that those were the types of stories that I wanted to tell. Stories about our world, stories that made people change the way they think or change the way they interact with other people. Since that point, my desire to tell these stories has only been deepened by the headlines that have come my way since 2012. Obama starting his second term, the Ebola outbreak, the same-sex marriage decision, the European terror attacks, one of which happened at a train station my uncle frequents in Belgium every single day. Most recently, I've been inspired by the victims and the journalists who came forward to break stories about the sexual assault and abuse perpetrated by Harvey Weinstein and former USA Gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar. I am thankful for those who displayed enough courage to expose these men, and I hope that one day I'm able to approach the stories that I get to tell with the same sort of fearlessness. I am also inspired by my aunt and uncle. Both of them began their careers as journalists and worked their way up to working for the Wall Street Journal. 20 years ago, the Journal asked my uncle to move across the ocean to Brussels, Belgium. He still lives there with my aunt and my cousins. Now he's an editor for Bloomberg News. 2 summers ago, I had the opportunity to participate in a 3-week exchange program to Germany. After my exchange ended, I flew by myself to Brussels, where I spent 2 weeks with my family. While I was there, I got to witness my uncle in action in his newsroom. I got to see him respond to major world issues like Brexit, which happened while I was there. It was super cool to see the way that they responded and reported that huge news, given that the EU headquarters was right across from my uncle's office. That trip was by far one of the most formative experiences of my life. I realized how big our world is and how important it is that we're not just aware of what's happening in our own communities, but that we're aware of what's happening in communities across the ocean. I admire the way my uncle is able to bring international news, not just to the people of Belgium, but to the people of the United States too. And I realized that's what I want to do. So what's next for me? I plan on attending Florida Southern College in Lakeland, Florida next fall. I plan to pursue majors in both multimedia journalism and political science with the ultimate goal of becoming an investigative journalist. I want to break stories that change the world for the better. My decision to travel so far from my beloved home state of Georgia wasn't easy, but I know that in order to become an educated and informed and impactful journalist, I have to be a global citizen of this world. And in order to become one, I knew that I needed to leave home and experience communities unlike the one I grew up in. I intend to work my butt off in college and involve myself in as many activities as I can. I plan to seek out internships and leadership opportunities, and then hopefully return to Georgia and work for our very own Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Eventually, maybe I'll end up working in New York or DC, which are 2 cities that are very close to my heart for being such huge news capitals of the world. But maybe not. Maybe I'll go back to Belgium and work for my uncle there. Or maybe I'll stay in Georgia and I'll tell the stories of everyday Georgians working to make a difference in their communities. Either way, I'm excited about what's next for me. I know my passion to break important stories is going to take me so far, and I'm so thankful to Georgia's Own for providing an opportunity to help ease that financial burden of pursuing my passions. Even more though, I'm thankful that Georgia's Own sees not just my potential, but the potential of everyday Georgians wanting to make a change. Thank you.